Hello, everyone, and thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Ties That Bind DFW podcast. I'm your host, Amber Monroe, speaker, comedian, and women's ADHD and neurodivergence confidence catalyst. My goal is to foster unity within the community by sharing stories that inspire hope, passion, and resilience. I also like to spotlight local businesses as well. In a world that's so obsessed with the divisiveness of social media, and not everything you see in the digital world is necessarily authentic, I'm here to bring the real. The views and opinions of my guests don't necessarily reflect mine or those of the Ties That Bind DFW podcast. All right, let's get into it. Guys, today I have a very good friend of mine. Her name is Christine Dee Nicholson. She is a women's speaker. She's a survivor, also ADHD sister like myself. She is also going to be on my panel for the Becoming Her Confidence Redefined summit that's coming up soon that I've been talking about. I'm so glad to have her on the panel to talk about her diagnosis and the different things that she's doing to heal and to help other women. And I'm just so excited to have her on board. We're going to get right into it. Thanks. Welcome, Christine. I'm so glad to have you here. Please take a moment to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do.
Absolutely. Amber, thank you so much for having me on the show, by the way. I fangirl you, so I appreciate that you're having me on here. It is an
Oh,
honor. So a little bit about me is, well, first and foremost, I'm a child of God. Um, and I'm also a mom, a wife. Oh, shout out to Jonah and Noel. I've got two pugs also. Shout out to Zippy and Fat. And uh, I'm also, in addition to that, um, you can tell my ADHD motors are running right now because I was about to tell you, I'm an ex TV reporter and an actress and an indie filmmaker.
yes.
But you know what? That was like 20 years ago. Today, after being a stay-at-home mom for 12 years, um, I decided to follow my dreams of always being a writer. So now I'm a writer and a speaker, which
Yes.
includes podcasting too.
Yes.
And of course, you're going to be on that for sure.
Absolutely.
Yay. And I'm also a self rediscovery coach, which I don't think there's very many of those. But
No.
yeah, it's it kind of aligns with the book that I'm writing. Um
Okay.
the book is called Rediscovering Your Sacred Light. It's very poetic. And the subtitle is The 12 Spiritual Paths Back to Your True Self. So essentially, I am trying to help those that have lost their way, kind of like I had for years. I'm an ex addict, a recovered alcoholic. I've struggled with eating disorders, suicidal ideations, the whole gamut. And I went through 20 plus years of recovery through therapy, through 12-step programs, through contemplative meditative practices. I didn't know meditation was so vital until I finally got into it. And I tell you what, it was so good and I felt so good. I finally made it to 4 years and 8 months. I got sober on March 19th
Oh,
of
wow.
21. And so that for
Congrats.
me, thank you. That for me is the longest, but I'm settled, so settled. It's unbelievable. And I felt that the journey was, the journey to healing from anything, I feel like it can get ugly, it can get messy, it can be painful, but it can also be so transformative, so rewarding, so beautiful. Getting to know yourself. When I first actually understood and had compassion for myself and my past.
Mm,
And God showed me what He thought of me. And I
mm.
actually had butterflies in my stomach for myself for the first time
Wow.
in my life. Like, oh, I love me too. And that's for
Oh.
someone who just turned 50, that's like, that was major for me. So I
Oh,
wanted to
wow.
share that love, and I put everything that I learned into a book. And it's not, even though it's called the 12 paths, it's not like a copy paste of the 12 steps. It has echoes of the 12 steps plus
Right.
modern psychology
Mm,
plus the Christian contemplative meditative practices that I talk about. But it's very, very trauma informed. But anybody can read it. It's not just for those that need recovery or those
okay.
that need, any type of healing. Because if you think about it, even though I believe 95% of us are normal, even normal people have persevered through their worst thing in their lives. So everybody
Oh,
has
that's
a
true.
worst thing, right?
That's true.
So I figure, trauma's very relative. So this is the
Wow.
book to help them find their inner light, that radiant, sacred light that's there since we were born, that God placed in us. So
That's amazing. And you're doing so many wonderful things. And, I fangirl over you too as well. Obviously, I
oh,
mean, anybody that's on my socials knows we hang out a lot
yes,
and
we
have a
do.
great time.
Yes, we do.
Um, and you're just such a sweet, kind spirit.
Aren't
Um,
you?
I'm wondering, what was it, or was there any kind of special event or anything that happened, a turning point where you decided, I'm ready to take my experiences and take my knowledge and sort of package that to make it accessible for other women like you, because it's hard when you've had so much trauma. It's difficult to address the drama, name it, deal with it, and now share with others. So tell me, if you had a moment like that, what was that like for you, that moment where you were like, I've got to share this with other people? If you can remember, if you've had that.
I do. It was whenever my my 12-step journey, I started off with all of the anonymous groups
Mm.
of, and it wasn't until I reached what I call like the alpha omega AA, where it all started, because all 12-step groups come
Mm.
from AA. I finally realized and admitted that I was an alcoholic.
Mm.
And even though alcohol was there the entire ride through, toxic relationships, codependency, drug use, cutting, bulimia, anorexia, alcohol was there the whole time, but it's so socially acceptable. I was like, no, I need help with this stuff. This stuff's heavier.
Mm. Okay.
Alcohol was the culprit to a lot of the issues in my life. Um, and it took a huge hit in my life when I eventually, lost my first husband to divorce, then
Mm.
the following relationship, then my car, my job, my car, my friend, everything, lost everything.
Mhm.
So when
Wow.
I got to a point that I finally admitted I was an alcoholic and started going to AA, which I know a lot of people, some people will be upset that I'm naming it, but everybody's very aware of that's the 12-step program that many people go to.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
and I am, and some people you know are, they kind of keep it close to the vest. It's just a personal choice if they whether they want to share it or not. I'm more open. I'm at the belief of um you know if I share what I've struggled, then other people will feel less alone. So when I
Mm.
was only 9 months sober in AA, that's when I got pumped. I was like, oh my gosh,
Mm.
everybody should know about this program. It's like everybody
Mm.
has known, but I was just like, everybody has to know how life changing this
Mhm.
is. And
Mm.
so it was in 20, yeah, 9 months sober. So it was in 2021. I decided to create a podcast called The Scenic Route, and
Mm.
it's CNIC for Christine Nicholson. But it's something, it means something different today with what
Mm.
I'm doing now, but it originally started as just my big fat ego saying, "Put your name on it, girl." And so I said, "Yes, scenic route." And it's
Yes.
so cute because you think it's scenic too. So
Yeah.
that was it. Whenever I started, when I felt that God lifted the desire and obsession to drink, it was gone. It's just gone. That's, I can be
Wow.
around it. It's not a problem. People can drink around me. I don't, there could be some in the house, but the obsession is gone. And that was when I
Mm.
realized, yeah, this is something. I'm a changed person. So I had a lot more growth to
Oh,
do.
wow.
And we all,
Yeah.
we all do, and I still have a lot more growth to do. But that was the changing point for me.
Oh, wow. That's wonderful. Um, it's those, I feel like it's those God moments that really, wake you up and kind of shake you out of what you're doing. And it's always a beautiful process, I think, when those things happen. Um,
Absolutely.
could you tell me a little bit about your ADHD diagnosis or any other diagnosis that you wanted to share? Now, I know we're going to go deeper um, on in January for the summit. I'm sorry, my brain's just hopping out. But tell me a little bit
It's
about what
okay.
that process was like for you.
I'd love to, without giving too much away, since do the viewers know that I'm going to be there already?
Oh, yes. I don't know that
Okay, good.
I mentioned it. Yeah. Oh, yeah, my intro. Yes, I
Okay,
did mention it before I
okay,
brought you
good.
on. Yeah.
I didn't
But
want
we
to
can
like
say it
spoil anything.
again.
Awesome.
Oh,
Thank you
no.
for letting me
Yeah.
be a panelist at, I can't believe, at your summit, because this is neurodivergence education and just awareness is something that I think we are lacking. And
Yes.
having you just, I mean, you're killing it doing this
Thank
event
you.
on your own. I think it's beautiful. I know that you have support, but it's mainly you driving the train. So I just wanted to
Thank
point
you.
that out. And the name Becoming Her is beautiful. It's beautiful. I
Thank you.
have I have a very weird. Oh, you're welcome. I have a very strange. Maybe it's not too strange, but my ADHD was not caught till I was around 44, 45.
Wow. Okay.
and and from my understanding, because I've been doing so much research with the book I'm writing, my understanding that that's very common with women because it normally shows up as overproductivity with
Hmm.
women
Okay.
versus hyperactivity. And
Right.
that's when, that's a usual signal. But I've always been a very, well, just overproductive. Uh, I talk too much. I was always too much. That was the thing.
Mm.
I still got a touch of that, obviously, but it's something that I embrace now. It's not anything that I demean myself about anymore. So when I found
Mm.
out that it was ADHD, to be honest, I was relieved because
Mm.
for all my life I thought I'm just different. Even in the rooms,
Mm.
the 12 step rooms, I was like, there's still something different about me. There's not
Mm.
people that think the way I think or the way I approach things. It just didn't click. I wasn't
Mm.
feeling, I've always felt different and like an outcast.
Mm.
And when I found out that I had ADHD and that there was a whole community of people that have the same procrastination tendencies, and that they also leave mountains of clothes on the floor before they put them up, and
Can you see
I was
behind this laptop? What? I'm sorry, continue.
yes, girl,
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, hallelujah. I can't believe it. I just thought that I was so many things. I thought I lost my
Mm,
mojo. I thought I just was lazy, or there's so many horrible things you can think about yourself whenever you're you're actually doing these ADHD tendencies and you don't know that
mm,
you have ADHD. So
right.
it was very enlightening, um and I'm good with it. I'm so good with it that I'm watching out for my kids because they're 10 and 12 right now, and I want to
Mm,
be able to catch that sooner than later so they don't
mm.
have to go through what I did.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of advocacy for your children is important. And like most people know, my oldest is autistic, and so
Mhm.
um,
I met
it's
him the other night. He's
interesting the
a very
way.
nice gentleman.
Yes,
Very
thank
nice.
you, thank you. He's a
Yeah.
sweetie.
Yes.
But yeah, thank you. It's interesting though. Yeah, we see things as adults and moms with neurodivergence. We definitely see things in our children that others might, or whether we might know to look for certain things that others may not. And so
Hmm.
that's kind of a blessing in a way. Um, it's
Very
so
true.
funny.
Very true.
Yeah, you said it's so crazy because you were like, I've always felt like I'm too much. And I feel like it's just wild that like society will have us thinking that, because in a negative light, because you're just so much wonderfulness. You're a sweet person, you love hard, and you laugh hard. And
That's why we get along so well.
I was
Because
about
you
to
do
say, yeah,
too.
I'm a bit extra myself, but
Yeah.
it's what God, he made us the way he wanted to make us. And the world needs people to be a little loud sometimes and just be a little extra. And
Amen.
so I'm glad that you've come to a point where you embrace that part of yourself, because you're awesome. And it's interesting, this the stories I'm hearing, from all the panelists, and
Mhm.
such a resounding, repeating theme of self-acceptance, and even though we're all a little bit different. And I'm just so excited. January the
I mean,
10th is
January
when it's going
10th.
down.
I
And
did
y'all can
too.
come and listen to Miss Beautiful Christine tell her story, and do our Q&A.
Yeah, I
um
actually have something that just a tidbit, like I'm gonna leave just a breadcrumb
oh,
of
yes.
something that I'll be probably discussing at the summit,
Okay. Yeah.
and it has to do with borderline personality disorder, also known as
Mm,
BPD,
yes. Okay.
and what I've heard called the triad, which is ADHD, complex PTSD or PTSD.
Okay.
And then there's also a third one, which is attachment trauma.
Mm,
And apparently, when you put those three together, they look a lot like BPD. So there's a lot more to the story, but
okay.
it's so interesting because even when you asked me to be a panelist, I put BPD down. And
Yeah.
since then, I think it's changed. And
Mm,
this has just been a lot of research that I've been doing.
yes.
And I think it's great just to share, I think it's great that the medical world is still trying to figure out these little nuances that occur with women, because back in the day they didn't think about us as important, as
Right.
men.
Oh gosh.
So
Yeah.
they would just place us in, oh, she's either not neurotic or she's psychotic, or she's in the
Mm,
middle, she's borderline. But
right.
I always thought about borderline meaning just the middle of neurotic and psychotic, but I never really thought about the rest of the phrase, which is personality disorder.
Mm,
And that's what caught me. Because I was like, hmm, is it really a personality disorder if I
mm.
get better when I get treated? If
Oh, okay.
I'm not always in a psychotic or a psychosis state.
Mm,
So there's little things to think about when we're trying to, label or I like to say I label myself only because it helps me to track how to correct my symptoms. If I don't have a
Mm,
name to it, then how am I going to know which trail to follow to figure out how
exactly.
I can get better? So I don't mind. I don't mind the labels at all. It's a sense of
Right.
community too.
It really is, and yeah, it helps you. It's like a roadmap, and some people are like, I'm happy where I'm at. And that's cool. So you can look at the map, be like, all right, that's cool. And some people are like, well, I want to go here or I want to go here. So how do we do that? And you have to label your map, Um,
Exactly. Can I ask
yeah,
you
I'm
if it's
definitely
okay? I know that you're the
sure.
interviewer, but so are
Oh,
you
go ahead.
primarily neurodivergent in ADHD, or do you have others, or is that something that you want to say for the summit?
Um, no, I mean, as far as I know, it's just ADHD.
Yeah.
A doctor may look at me and be like, Amber, let's have a talk. But I'm assuming that that's all, that I have going on. But I
Yeah,
was diagnosed earlier.
that's
So,
great. So that means you're one of the hyperactive babies. You're one of those little class clowns.
oh yeah, yeah. But see, as I've gotten older, it's interesting. See, this is I thought, "Oh, ADHD goes away when you get older." So, as hyper as I was, sneaking out of class because I got bored, going to all 4 lunches, that was my thing. My friends would be like, "Amber, you're supposed to be in history class." I'm like, "Stuff on my face."
This is lunch 3.
"Thank you." But now so much of the, hyperactivity takes place in my brain. And maybe that's what it was in school too. I was bored, so I wanted to get up and do something. And so now I'll be sitting down like this with ideas like just slamming me in the face. Like, oh, my brain's just going, 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 going. And
Yes.
because it's so going so hard, it
Mhm.
actually takes energy. I'm tired all the time. And you know that so I'm sitting there and it's like, well, I shouldn't have ADHD, but it's like it's all happening up here. And you're right. And we get I was lucky to be diagnosed when I was. It's
It's
interesting,
interesting.
yeah, how all
Takes.
that plays out. Yeah, no,
Yeah, I agree
I
with
was a
you.
mess in
And
school.
that reminds me though, you made a good point about the, how we sometimes assume that things will get better when we get older.
Yeah.
Yet that's when my ADHD started kind of really rearing its head.
Oh,
And like I was saying, it was the overproductivity, and I still struggle with that. I
mm,
am either like we're always like either cooking. Yes, I am also called the microwave mom, but it's still cooking. So I'm
yes,
either
it is.
either cooking or just up and about, and or sitting and working. And for me, because my janky laptop never works, it's on my phone, so
Mm,
I'm just like
yep.
and I will be working on let's see, a good 2 to 3 projects at the same time. Oh, well, another
Mm.
idea for this one, and then this one, and something I hadn't even announced to anybody yet. But since
Oh,
me and you are
yes.
homegirls, I
Oh,
thought
we are. Yes, go ahead. Spill the tea.
you my sister. Well, ADHD actually helped me create a wonderful second book. I haven't even finished writing
Oh,
the. I mean, I had the draft of the first book. I just need to get it published.
yeah.
Um,
Okay.
but the second book is already started, and it
Oh,
kind of goes to what you were saying. Like it's a so like rediscovering your sacred light is more like about awareness and
okay.
healing, that recovery of whatever your trauma, which is, like I said, relative, whatever that
Right.
is that you needed to get over to unpeel those layers that the world put on us. If you imagine yourself like
Mm,
a ball of light when you're born, and it's just you and God, and the world puts on your name, a gender, and you're a sister. You got roles, you got responsibilities, you've got
Mm-hmm.
all these things until you're just this big opaque ball of who knows what. But
Yeah.
we spend so much time trying to, uh we create these masks. We're like, I want you to see me, I want you to see me, but we don't even know who we are sometimes. Like, but I
Mm.
only want them to see the version of me that I feel is perfect. And I feel like there is a point in recovery where there is such acceptance, like you said, that's been mentioned a lot. There's a point of
Mm-hmm.
acceptance of yourself and self love and self compassion that comes. And that's part of the rediscovery journey. Well, something I've learned is, wouldn't it be nice if we had a how to adult manual for people
Mm.
that have, we're neurodivergent, we're healing, we're just an everyday person and we just don't get it. And I found
Mm.
that there is a lack of opportunity for people to find these rituals, to get a rhythm on
Mm.
how to make sure their day, every day, is a good day, how we
Yeah.
could stabilize ourselves. And this one's, instead of rediscovering your sacred light, it's called living in the light as your whole integrated self. So
Mm.
once you've
Okay.
gotten your stuff together and you've accepted it and you love it,
Mm.
now you got to learn how to live in it. That's the point
Mm.
that I found a lot of people that have been in recovery, that you'll find people that have been in recovery and sober for 20 years and then they relapse, and it's so sad. And
Oh,
I really
wow.
feel like it's
Yeah.
because we don't have that support for
Mm.
people that are going, is this all there is to life? There's so much
Yeah.
more, but there's no resources for that. So that's what this is, and I think it's going to be, I love it already. I think it's groundbreaking because it's helping me, just doing the study. It's helping me stabilize myself. And
Mm.
somebody who's neurodivergent, who's all over the place, um, I do need a rhythm. I do need to have an anchor every day that even if it's just wake up in the morning and pray or meditate or, read anything,
Yeah.
something like that. I also need some uh, different tools, such as, this is a big one for me. I want to tell myself, since I became an entrepreneur in on August 28th of 2025, just recently, I wanted to give myself a rule. Okay, I'm only going to work when the kids are at school. And I can't shut my ADHD part off.
Mm.
And I find that, okay, I'll I'll get present with the kids. How was your day? This, that, and the other. I'll make their dinner in the microwave. And then I will get right back on there, finish that book.
Mm.
And I realized that what was missing was a transition. I needed a transition period that signaled my brain to
Mm.
say, hey, we're shifting gears. I can't do a hard
Right.
stop and then
Mm.
go.
Right.
I'm really bad, and I think this is common with other ADHDers. I'm really bad with like changes of plans, like, or sudden, like, just up, let's do this now. And I'm
Mm.
just like,
Yeah.
yeah, I've got my jammies on and I'm not jiving with it.
Yeah.
So I need to have like you need to slide, just kind of massage me into it a little bit. And so these are these type of
Yeah.
the sort of tools that I'm learning about, that's helping me with the neurodivergent part of me and
Yeah.
the trauma part of me, because I have several layers of neurodivergence. But yeah, so that's the big
Wow.
secret. Book 2 is coming out hopefully maybe
Exciting.
next year. Yeah. So thank
Cool.
you.
That is
Thanks for letting me
great. Yeah,
share.
congrats on that. What's that?
I said thanks for letting me share that here. too.
Oh, of course. Yeah, girl, no, this is all you. That's wonderful. And congrats on that. Yeah, that's going to be great, and I can't wait for your book that you're almost done with to come out. I've been cheering you on about that for a hot minute, and so I'm very excited for you. And again, y'all that are you're listening, Christine obviously will be at the Becoming Her Confidence Redefined Summit. January the 10th, you'll get to see her in person and meet her and
Yes.
talk with her and mingle or whatever, and kind of talk about what she's got going on. And now's the time. Before I forget, you've already talked about your new book coming out and your new book that's coming out. Is there anything else you want to share? You mentioned a Facebook group and something for
Oh, thank you.
January.
Thanks for
Yeah,
reminding me.
of course.
Yes. So, so anybody that wants to reach me can just hop on ChristineDDNicholson.com, and it gives you little pathways to go to my Facebook group, which is called Rediscovery Community. It is free, it is private, but it's also ladies only. And I find that
Mhm.
it's helpful for me to work with just women one on one. However, I'm also working on another project where we're helping men by using the book and workbook as curriculum, because these are men
Mm,
that are perpetrators. And I feel like
mm.
everybody could use help. Um,
Yeah.
being a person that have had, you know, essay in my past, I have forgiven my perpetrators, and I feel
Mhm.
like I'm working with somebody. I don't know if she wants me to share it right now, so I won't share her name. But I'm working with somebody right now who works with um, relationship abusive relationships, and she has a
Mm.
plan. She's very passionate about helping the women, but she wants to help the men too, and I think that's so key to stop
Wow.
the violence. How are we going to stop it
Yes.
if we don't
Oh my
help
gosh.
those perpetrators?
Mm.
So that's something that's super exciting for me, is to be able to work with men through that method. They'll have probably another therapist have the group, and they can use that as their textbook and workbook. And that would uh anything I can do to just, this is me fulfilling my divine assignment. This is what God gave
Mm.
me, because
Yes.
he's I've only been Christian for 20 years, and it was a lonely world before then, not knowing
Mm.
that I was already loved, already forgiven. So when he gave me that divine assignment, I was able to accept all the other things that came with it, which were things like, my past, which is very, very colorful. Plus, I'm also dealing with chronic kidney disease. I have a kidney biopsy coming up. I also have an autoimmune disorder. I've got all sorts of chronic pain and diseases. But I know that God put me here to share this message, to help others, and to show them that they can do it with neurodivergence, with
Mhm.
chronic, illness, with past alcohol and addiction, and not have to do anything like drink or drug over it.
Yes.
So that's what I wanted to share. That the rediscovery community.
That is so awesome. Also, I'm going to link your all the stuff you're talking about. I'm going to link it when I post this interview on the different social media platforms, so they'll be able to. You just send me those links, and I'll post them.
Yes, thank
Um,
you.
you are very, very welcome. I guess, goodness, I guess that's all I have. All the questions I have for now. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna go deeper in January, and I'm
Absolutely.
excited. I'm just gonna keep talking about it, talk about it.
I can't
But
wait.
thank you.
That's what you're supposed to be doing. You're doing the right things.
Okay, because thank you, because I love to talk. Um, but thanks so much, Christine, again for coming on. You're a mom, you're busy, you got things going on. We made
You
it
too,
work
girl.
today, and I'm Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
Amber's
yes.
being really nice, y'all, because I was supposed to be on 2 hours ago, but my ADHD time blindness is the worst anybody's ever seen. I know it is. I was like at 12:57. I was like, Do you think you want to start at 1:30 maybe, or oh, it's
Hey,
it hurts my
you,
heart. Really, it does.
well, if
Thank you.
anyone's gonna understand, it's me. So don't feel
Yeah, I
bad.
really appreciate it. You have so much grace. This is the thing people need to know about Amber and why it's great to support this woman, because she
Aw.
has got such a big heart. She's well rounded. She takes care of her, but she's the best mama. She's a great
Aw.
cook. She's a great
Aw.
friend. I love her like a sister. And we just met at NACWE, National Association of Christian Women Entrepreneurs, like in September maybe, and like we're
Yeah, yeah.
hanging out and people thought we were sisters, and I was like, oh, thank you. So that's
Right? Like,
really cool. I love that. And she's got
aw.
the sweetest, biggest heart, and she's funny. I'm clicking
Aw.
laugh on every single one of your reels. So we're gonna have to surprise the guests someday with a skit or something, because you and me have got to do a skit.
Bet. Oh, that's in the works.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for your kind words. That's so sweet
You're
of
so
you.
welcome. You're
And
so
you're
welcome.
hilarious yourself. And yeah, we're gonna y'all be waiting for that because it's going down. We literally talking about it this morning.
Yeah. Awesome.
Well,
Thank
I
you for
will.
having me.
You're very welcome. And yeah, thanks for coming on. Everyone, thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Ties That Bind DFW. Please stay tuned for more. Be blessed. And thanks, Christine.
Thank you.
Bye.
Love you, Amber. Bye,
Love you too,
everybody.
girly. Bye.